Hi, I'm Scott Reall, author of the Journey Freedom series and founder of Restore Small Groups. And this week's Moment of Hope is about affirmation motivation. Affirmation motivation, that's a great concept that combined together, so you have to be motivated and affirmation. And what it means for me is that, which to me is also the heart of true intrinsic motivation, is a voice in me and that's pulling me forward. This is who I want to be. This is what I want to achieve. This is where I'm going. This is the path I'm on. And I really believe that in that voice, that affirming voice, is God saying, yes, this is it. I see you with this effort, this path, and I'm with you. And so if we can think of it this way, we have intrinsic motivation, which is an internal desire. Then we have extrinsic motivation, which is an external pressure. The way I look at it is this: when I'm extrinsically motivated, I'm driven by fear. And fear pushes me, it shoves me to keep going, because I'm really trying to run away. So it's kind of forcing me. And then if you were to then remove that pushing, I would just drift back and run away, go back to where I was. Because I really don't have the internal desire to do it, but I'm being driven by fear. But when I'm intrinsically motivated, I believe there's an affirming voice that's kind of like pulling me forward with them, saying, hey, I'm with you, I got you, we're going to do this. And that's God. And I really see God as being the greatest affirming message voice in my life, saying, I see you, I got you, we're going to do this together. Come on, let's keep going. And it's pulling me, and I'm going with them, and we're together. And so I was in church years ago at St. Bartholomew's in Nashville, and the way they ran their service was the kids would all be in Sunday school classes during the major part of the service. But then once you started the communion, all the children would come back so that the family could take communion together. And it was really one of the most beautiful parts. So all of a sudden, right before communion, the doors would open, and all these little kids would come pouring in down the aisles looking for their families. And they would bring artwork and things that they had been doing. And so this one little girl, I would say she's probably about 4 years old, she ran to meet her father, and she climbed in the pew with him. And she just screamed in the loudest voice that the whole church could hear, "Look, Daddy, I made a star." And it was just melted my heart, because in the whole world, there was nobody more important to her than her father, and that he could see what she had created. That was everything in her life. And her father just smiled and gave her a hug. He said, it's beautiful. And that, to me, is the ultimate example of a affirmation motivation. She was recognized. She was seen by the most important person in her life. And so that really is what an affirming motivation is. That is an intrinsic motivation. And to see God in that light, that I think so many of us, we see God as, well, he just sees what I do wrong. No, I think he's constantly looking for the good in me and acknowledging when I do see that happening in my life. And that pulls me forward. And that ultimately too is a paradigm shift, I think, that we have to have in how we view God, as that father who's just smiling as a child runs to him and jumps in his arms and says, look, Daddy, I made a star. Whatever that is that you're creating in your life, that is a beautiful testimony of the power of intrinsic motivation. So hear that voice this week if you do one thing right today and you do 100 things wrong, when you do that one thing that you really feel is right, hear God acknowledging you that you made a star, and I see you, and I love you, and I'm always for you. That is the power of an intrinsic motivation that comes from affirmation. And remember, affirmation that comes from within, those are the ones that really pull us forward. Those are the ones that really sustain us. So God bless you, and remember, we're better together, and stay on the path and keep making those stars.